Hi! Today I'm going to show you an absolute favorite of mine of my collection. This beautiful reproduction of The School for Scandal illustrated by Hugh Thomson and published by Hodder Stoughton. And Hodder Stoughton used to publish a lot of beautiful editions back in the day of the golden age of illustration, which you will see right now. And I hope you enjoy it. This splendid edition of The School for Scandal is a facsimile of the edition from 1913 and was published by Hodder Stoughton as a limited edition in 1984. Like most books illustrated by Hugh Thomson, an Irish illustrator born in 1860, the cover is adorned with a magnificent gilded design, full of intricate detail and very delicate. For display, the illustrator seems to have chosen the fan as the symbol to represent it, as it is worked in here as a beautiful frame for the title, is held here by the ladies of society, and appears again here on the spine. The book is bound in genuine leather of dark blue tone, and feels very soft and nice to the touch. The front papers are marbled, which is not really to my taste, but I appreciate the work and craftsmanship that goes into the process. The paper has a pleasant thickness, and yet feels rather light. The frontispiece shows Lady Teazle, one of the main characters in the play. The illustrations throughout the book evoke the fashion of the 18th century and are very softly colored, which I think complements the lovely delicate drawings very well. The title page too is incredibly detailed and delicate. Thomson was a master of ink illustration and would only paint in color when the publisher demanded it, and we can see his incredible skill here. Overall, this edition features 25 tipped-in color illustrations, all protected by a semi-transparent sheet. Hugh Thomson was popular in his time and illustrated many well-known authors such as William Shakespeare, Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, and Elizabeth Gaskell, to name a few. He paid great attention to detail and would research the subject of his illustrations in the Victoria and Albert Museum, such as fashion, furniture, architecture, etc. I myself am very partial to the style of the 18th century, and I love very much the loveliness of the faces in his drawings. Equally beautiful are the dainty ornamental frames surrounding each color plate, complete with a description of the illustration's subject. The School for Scandal was written by Richard Brinsley Sheridan and was first performed in 1777. It is still popular to this day, and it tells the story of a group of socialites who delight in fabricating gossip and slander for their amusement, as well as their benefit, caring little for the damage that they cause. One brother tries to discredit the other in order to gain his would-be bride and her inheritance. A young woman from the country, the Lady Teazle from the frontispiece, recently has come into their circle and succumbs to the corruption of her friends, and thus gets unwittingly tangled up in the scheme with disastrous but amusing consequences. The play, in my opinion, is very fun to read, because most characters are very witty and very funny in their glaring hypocrisy. There's a multitude of schemes interfering with other schemes that I enjoyed very much, and there are moments of physical comedy that must be hilarious on stage. And while it is indeed 240 years old, I think there's something very relatable about this comedy to this day, because one can easily picture such hypocrites and gossips in our time as well. The English critic William Hazlitt, born in 1778, said that The School of Scandal is, if not the most original, perhaps the most finished and faultless comedy which we have. When it is acted, you hear people all around you exclaiming, "Surely it is impossible for anything to be cleverer." And likewise, I find it impossible for an edition of this play to be more beautiful than this one. So I've been a huge fan of Hugh Thomson's work for a while now. For example, I've had this Kindle case that shows this Pride and Prejudice cover for a couple of years now. It was made by the Marston Bindery, if you're interested. And I've had the matching tote bag to go along with it, but out of print. But this is the very first time that I managed to get a book that was illustrated by him, so I was super excited when I got it in the mail. I'm currently not aware of many more reproductions of his work that are in a similar quality. Maybe one or two at most, but I haven't been very successful at tracking them down yet. Because, you know, I'm always looking for facsimiles of books that I love because, one, the originals are usually way too expensive. With Hugh Thomson, for example, it can vary, but with the Pride and Prejudice cover version that I just showed you, so the version that has this cover, the prices are well into the four figures. So yeah. But the second reason is that I love to go through my books and touch them, read them, and I'm always scared with over 100-year-old books that I'm just going to damage them. And I don't want to buy a book just to put it on a shelf and be happy that it's there. I actually want to use it. So yeah, of this edition I know that another one exists that is in red leather, also published in 1984. And it would have gilded edges, which this one does not, but I prefer the contrast of the dark blue leather with the gold over the red that I've seen in the pictures, so I hope I could convey why this edition is one of my absolute favorites in my collection. In other news, I want to say thank you because so far everyone has been super nice to me, so I'm really glad I started this channel. And in the next video, we're going to go back to Folio Society. So like I said in my first video, there's going to be a mix of things. Gonna do that. And after Christmas, there will be even more stuff to show you because there will be new books coming for me. So I hope to see you again and that you have a great day, and bye-bye.